Hello all, and welcome to my Requiem 3bftweaks alchemy tutorial video. In this video, I'll be showcasing how to use the power of alchemy to get through the early game of Requiem 3bftweaks, as well as my general routes I like to take when starting out. To start out, the first thing you'll need to know is in order to craft potions and poisons in 3bftweaks, you're going to need to take the first alchemy perk, or choose a race that can craft potions and poisons without perks. The races that can craft without perks are Argonians, Bretons, Dark Elves, High Elves, and Wood Elves. Potions and poisons that are crafted with these races without perks are really weak, but they're still more than acceptable to get through the early game content in bandit combat. In the background, while I'm explaining the potions and poisons I like to use early, I'm going to be having some footage of both the Riverwood Start and the Riften Start, just to show where I get these ingredients that I'm talking about and how I use them to make potions and poisons that are really effective early to surviving. In this showcase, I'm going to be picking an Argonian, which doesn't need the alchemy perk to be able to craft potions. And then when it's time, I'm going to show what the values of the potions are without the perk, and then I'll take the perk and show what values we get then. Other than the alchemy perk though, I'm not going to be taking any other perks. So no one-handed, nothing. I'm going to be using a sword and a crossbow and some light armor, but I'm not going to be perking into them at all. My only perk is going to be into alchemy. And that's just to show the power of alchemy early and how it can easily help you to get through the early game. So right off the back here, we're going to this small encampment, which has a lot of good purple mountain flower, bees, butterflies, just a lot of good stamina ingredients, I'd say. There's also a novice chest that you can bash open, but just be careful because there are 3 ranged bandits that will spawn once you engage the chest. So just be ready to run in a zigzag towards the trees. At the end of this, I'm going to be showing or giving a brief overview of what ingredients I would prioritize, especially early game. That way you can get an idea of what you should be looking for. And then I'll also, in the description, I'll post a link to a PDF of the potions I like to make and then the ingredients that are good for those potions, for further reference. Skipping forward a little bit, it's important to also make sure you're getting all the ingredients around the Riverwood campsite. Lots of good flowers, butterflies, the whole kit and caboodle here. There's also some good Mora Tapanella spawn trees. There's one right here to the right that I'm about to get. There's another one further up the hill that also has some nightshade in it as well. Always be sure to look out for these little trees that have ivy growing on them, either the upright trees like this or the fallen logs. They both have Mora Tapanella usually spawning on there, and Mora Tapanella is an excellent ingredient that you're going to want to pick as much up as possible. Next, a part of what makes the camping in the woods start so good is the slaughterfish that are around Lake Ilinalta here. So there are, I think, 8 or 9 slaughterfish that usually spawn here. So you're going to want to aggro as many as possible in order to get their scales. So each slaughterfish drops 5 scales and has a chance to drop an egg. So the reason that you want to kill these slaughterfish is for their scales, which have the lingering damage potion effect on them. And lingering damage potions are going to be what carry through the mid game as far as dealing damage to bandits. Super good on all characters. Mages can use it for like picking up a dagger and putting it on the dagger and just doing supplemental damage with the lingering damage. Warriors can use it as well. It's just while they're especially early when you don't have a lot of weapon expertise, so it's you don't always have a lot of armor penetration. It's super good for almost every bandit, with some exceptions. To just whittle them down over time, and yeah, it's just a super effective way of dealing with them. So here we're also in this sunken northern ruins that's also in the lake. And there we're picking up some Nordic barnacle cluster, which are going to be great for health regeneration potions as well as undying breath. So whichever one you prefer. I prefer to make them into undying breath potions, but if your stamina is okay, you don't really feel like you need it, then having a gradual restore health is nice too. So we're making our way over here to what I call that's Mud Crab Island, and this is Bee Island. Picking up some more Mora Tapenella and slaughterfish eggs. When you go swimming around in Lake Ilanalta, be careful not to go too far because you'll encounter the giant slaughterfish. Mainly I just go from where I started back near the sunken ruins down over here to the island, and then I cut across over here. So the Dartwings are going to be really good for healing potions and lingering damage health potions. Blue Dartwing are for the healing, and the orange Dartwing are for the lingering damage health. Orange Dartwing are also good for recuperation or stamina potions. So making our way over here to the wolf overhang, just killing some wolves here. Being an Argonian is nice. You take some chip damage, but you regen it back up. Over here at the wolf overhang are some whitecap, which are going to be really good for resist piercing potions, as well as magicka regeneration potions, or just regular magic potions. Resist piercing potions are going to be handy early if you're not going heavy armor and you're relying on your light armor in order to help mitigate some damage from the early game archers. It's nice to have that resist piercing. There's also a novice lock chest that you can bash open for a chance at some insights, which is nice. Making my way over to Riverwood now on the far side of the White River. Doing a quick recap of the ingredients that I've gotten so far. Of course, I've been collecting ingredients in between these cuts, but just going around collecting everything that I see pretty much. I've been omitting the red mountain flowers just because don't really need them if you're going for a warrior character. If you're using a magic character and you want to have some magic regen, then you're going to want to pick up the red mountain flower, but pretty much always you're going to want to pick up some blue and purple mountain flower for the health and stamina. So there aren't too many ingredients on this side of the river. There's just some there's a nernroot that you can pick up, some slaughterfish eggs over by the riverbank, and then there's just a couple instances of more tapenella over here with some blue and purple mountain flower. Now, before showing the potion crafting that we're doing with the ingredients we got from Riverwood, we're going to jump over to our Riften Start. Now, the Riften Start, I'm doing the exact same thing, Argonian, with pretty much the same starting choices: beef stew, tonic, some healing potions, leather armor, iron sword, wooden crossbow, and some bolts. The Riften Start is good for alchemy. There's some good options that you can do. It's not as good as the Riverwood Start, I would say. You can't make quite as many lingering damage health poisons as you can. You can find a lot of orange Dartwing and blue Dartwing around. There just aren't as many more tapenella, and there aren't as many slaughterfish scales. But you can get a very quick start with the Riften Start here, because you can find a dead slaughterfish at the docks, which we're going to show, and you can find orange Dartwings around the docks as well, so you can quickly get 5 lingering damage health poisons right off the bat, which can help you with any of the combat that you want to do with the Riften Start. So we're going around making our way to Draven's farm here. There's a lot of good mountain flowers in between here and there. At Draven's farms, you'll want to get the chicken's egg. Chicken eggs are good for resist magic potions, and you can also make potions of undying breath with chicken's eggs. So it's all depends on what you want to use them for. Like I said early on, I like to do the undying breath potions as much as possible. Early you can kind of pick and choose your battles, so just avoiding the magic content early on until you have some good magic resist. so not as important to make them early on into magic resist potions. So yeah, we're just going around collecting butterflies, collecting the flowers, then we're going to make our way over to the docks next. So we're going to swim over to the docks, making sure to collect as much orange and blue dartwing as possible here. Something to note about the dartwings that are floating around here, if you leave the cell and reload it, they will respawn. So that means if you quickly go into the Riften fishery and pop out, all of these locations where I'm collecting these dartwings, they will repopulate with more dartwings. So it's a pretty easy way to get unlimited amounts of dartwing if you need. So that's a good trick to have. So we're just going around getting all the dartwings that we can, and then we're going to enter the Riften fishery here and collect our slaughterfish gills that we can get. So the slaughterfish that we're going to want is in here, inside on this table. It's just a regular slaughterfish corpse, and we can get our slaughterfish gills from here. The rest of the ingredients that we're going to want to collect in Riften are going to be along this route, as if you're going to Crag's Lane and Stony Creek Cave. When you exit Riften, it's just going down that hill and to the right. There's going to be a lot of random encounters though. I think there are some bandit random encounters that you can have, lots of frostbite spiders, lots of wolves, so you've been warned. But this is a good place to get a lot of flowers that you're going to need. And a little further down towards where Stony Creek Cave is and Crag's Lane Cave are, you'll find some more tapanella trees that you can get. Skipping ahead a little bit closer to where Crag's Lane Cave is. In this area, you'll find a lot more tapanella around here. Here we have some wolves that we found. We'll kill these guys. Not a big deal. Again, it's nice to be an Argonian and get that region going. So in this area, you'll find a lot more tapanella, like I was saying, which is definitely a super ingredient because almost all of the ingredient effects are useful for every character. You've got Magicka, Lingering Damage Health, Gradual Restore Stamina, and then a Fortify Illusion. Fortify Illusion, not that great, but the other three are really good and almost useful on every character. Alright, jumping back to our Riverwood Start here. We're going to start, and I'll show the kind of potions we can make without a perk here with the Argonian. Just the basic potions I'll show. We'll see that the lingering damage poisons are just 3 points for 30 seconds. Not bad, not great. And the health are 402%. So the deficient potions by comparison are 500%. Also not that great. And then the recuperation are 60%, sorry. So now I'll go ahead and take the perk, the first alchemy perk, and we'll see what the levels are here. So our lingering damage is now 4 points for 30 seconds, which is a lot better. So every charge will do 120 points of damage, not counting resists. So we're just going through and using all of the different ingredients for those. We want to make as many as possible. For our health, we have blue dartwing, blue mountain flower, butterfly wings. For our stamina, we have bees and purple mountain flower. We're going to mix some resist piercing potions as well. And then some more recuperations here. So we end up with a total of 24 lingering damage health. Well, 25 if you count the one that I made without the perk, which will last us for many bandit encounters. So we're pretty much set now. We have good ways to heal ourselves, and we have good ways to deal damage. Now, jumping back to our Riften Start here, we're going to go ahead and see what we can do. No need to show the weaker person, so we're going to go ahead and take our perk here. And we'll get crafting. So again, we're going to be doing around the same stuff. Same ingredients, just a little bit less, but not as much time to actually collect them. A lot of healing potions, which is really nice to have. And then we're going to go ahead and start with our lingering damage health. So actually, if you need to put orange start wing second here, or else it'll only be 3 for 30 instead of 4 for 30. And then we're going to do the same thing with our slaughterfish scales. And then, so yeah. It's a very similar start. We're using the same ingredients, it's just there's not as many. There's enough to get through the first couple of bandit encounters for sure. It's just not quite as many as when you're starting Riverwood. So honestly, if you're going to do a start here, I would do the Riverwood Start, and then if you really want, you can just cart over to Riften once you get to Whiterun, and then do the Riften Start right after, and then you should get tons and tons of ingredients that you can be stacked up for any encounters. So here we only had 11 lingering damage health poisons versus the 24 from the Riverwood Start. Getting over here to our first combat encounter, we can see the power of poisons. So I go ahead and hit him with the crossbow bolt with 1 hit, 2 hits with my sword. Now he's got 2 ticks of poison, another hit. So he's got 3 ticks of going, and that's all we need to get this pretty high level bandit here. He's got, Dwarven helmet, steel armor, and he's dead, just like that. And that's the power of poisons. So now we're going to skip ahead to the treasure bandits here. Put 1 power attack, get rid of his crossbow. Also put a tick of poison on him. And so the beauty of this style is you just have to be patient. And as long as you can be patient and get poison ticks on the bandits, then you can win. And even to make this a little bit harder, this save got corrupted a little bit because I made it right after I was playing a stage 4 vampire, so my healing potions don't even work in this save. I'm going to go ahead and disable this hunter because I don't want his help. Although he did help me already a little bit by weakening that bandit. So yeah, I popped a healing potion, but it didn't do anything because my Skyrim save is a little weird. But yeah, we can just see. We just have to be patient and weave in our attacks when we can. And then as long as we're hitting them with some poison, then we'll win in the long run. And that's the power of the poison gameplay early on. Well, we have some more bandit slaying gameplay inside Embershard Mine with our poisons. I'm just gonna go over a little bit about all the different kind of potions and poisons I like to use early game, and then what the best ingredients, in my opinion, are to be able to craft them. So starting off with your basic 3 potions, we have our healing potions, recuperation potions, and magic potions. Now for healing potions, the ingredients that you're going to want to collect are blue mountain flower, butterfly wings, blue dart wing, and blisterwort. It's the B ingredients. Every one of those ingredients you're going to want to pick up because they'll make some great healing potions. For recuperation potions, or our stamina potions, I like to get purple mountain flowers, bees, claws, mud crab chitin, and honeycombs. For magica potions, red mountain flower, more tapanella, elf's ear, and whitecap. Now for our resistance potions. Not as useful early, but definitely very useful in the mid and late game when you're fighting more magic opponents. So our basic resist magic potions, we're going to be wanting to pick up tundra cotton, lavender, bleeding crown, and nirnroot. I'll go ahead and say this now. These aren't necessarily the best ingredients, but these are the ingredients that we're going to want to pick up early, and throughout the game that'll give us our basic potions essentially. There are some different ingredients that we're going to want to use for our highest possible resistance or healing that we're going to want for our late game, but this is mainly for early mid game that we're going to be doing this for. Okay, now for fire resist potions, we're going to want to be picking up snowberries, which are another super ingredient like more tapanella. Snowberries, elf's ear, bone meal, fly amanita, and dragon's tongue, all good for fire resist. Frost resist, another snowberries, purple mountain flower, frost miriam, thistle branch. And for shock resist, snowberries, mudcrab chitin, glowing mushroom, and blue dartwing. Now for our auxiliary potions, I'll call them. We have our undying breath potions, gradual restore stamina potions, gradual restore health potions, resist piercing potions, and fortify health potions. For undying breath, you're going to want to focus on Nordic barnacle cluster, chicken's egg, charred skeever hide. And then for gradual restore stamina, you're going to want to focus on bee, claw, fly amanita, snowberries, more tapanella, and orange dartwing. Those are all ingredients that you're going to want to pick up. Gradual restore health, you're going to want garlic, Nordic barnacle cluster, juniper berries, and Amira's rot. Resist piercing potions, whitecap, honeycomb, beehive husk, thistle branch. And then for fortify health, you're going to want to get blue mountain flower, hanging moss, wheat, and glowing mushrooms. Now for our poisons. For our lingering damage, you're going to want to focus on slaughterfish scales, slaughterfish eggs, orange dartwing, more tapanella, venomous spittle, and imp stool. For burning oil, we're going to want butterfly wings, hanging moss, Namira's rot, and Nordic barnacle. And chilling oil, we're going to want blue butterfly wing, blisterwort, bone meal, and spider egg. So you'll notice that some of these ingredients were listed in multiple of my key potions and poisons that you want. And then the super ingredients, which I consider snowberries and more tapanella, were in a lot of the key potions that I like. So I'm going to have a PDF with all of this information in it available for download in the description. And yeah, so this is the basics of alchemy early. I hope this helps. The best starts and which ingredients you want to be looking out for. This is by no means like an all-encompassing way to play with alchemy. It's just my preferred way, and I think it'll help many people start out with 3bftweaks to get past the early game. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please leave a like below. And I hope to see you guys around in my live streams, or feel free to check out some of my other video content. A lot of it having to do with alchemy early. So we have some more ways to see it in action. But yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.